Hey there! I am so excited to talk about today's topic. So, I am going to be recording this for the podcast. So, I'm going to be doing a little intro and then I'll be staying online for some questions afterwards. So, definitely know that I'm not signing off yet. If you are here, let me know who's here. Say hi in the comments. I'd love to know who's joining me live. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to join me. I'll go ahead and do my intro. Welcome to the Spark Show. In this episode, I'll be sharing 5 influencer mistakes to avoid that I've seen a lot of people make and some that I've made myself. So if this is the first time we're connecting, my name is Gwen Lane, and I love helping influencers like you build their brand, grow their following, and monetize their influence. So I have a 12-year digital marketing background and have been monetizing as an influencer for over 5 years now, and I love sharing what I've learned while building a multiple 6-figure business as a travel and lifestyle influencer. I started coaching 2 years ago because a lot of influencers had the same questions for me on how to build a brand, how to grow a following, how to work with brands, and how to monetize. So I'm so excited to be teaching you some of the things to look out for in your journey. So let's get started. Mistake number 1 is follower obsession. So this is a big one. Everyone obsessed right now with the numbers and the metrics. And the thing is, it matters, but it also doesn't matter. And I'll explain to you why. If you go into this business with the goal to get millions of followers and just to get those numbers, it's a very different energy than going into this business to help people, right? And people can feel your energy. People can feel if you're being authentic, if you're there trying to help people, or if you're just trying to make money. Making money is important because this is a business, and we'll talk more about that in the next coming ones. But it is important to know why you're doing it in the first place, right? So if you were able to help 1,000 people, would that be significant to you? But then, most of you would probably say yes, right? But then when people tell me they only have 1,000 followers, they say it like it's a bad thing, or that 1,000 followers is not enough. And like they need millions of followers to feel significant or validated. When in fact, you have 1,000 people right there who are ready to be helped by you, right? And so if you have 1,000 followers and you're wondering why all you're trying to do is get more followers, ask yourself if you are serving those 1,000 followers that you have right now, because everyone starts from there, and it's only when you start to help more people that you actually increase your followers. Hey there, Karen. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Kim. Thank you guys for tuning in today. So if you're super concerned with following, I'd like to invite you into a different perspective, right? There are people on Instagram right now with less than 100,000 followers who are making millions of dollars. Now, there's also people with more than 100,000 followers who are not making a dime. So there are people on both sides of the spectrum. And yes, they're getting free stuff if you have a lot of followers and you get invited to events, but they're not actually making real money. So who would you rather be? Someone with a lower following, but you're able to grow and monetize, or someone who has a lot of following but has no monetization plan in place? I've also had students that started monetizing with less than 1,000 followers. So it's really not about how many followers you have, right? But the kind of content you post, who you are as a person, and how you serve your audience, but providing value for them. So that is the number 1 mistake, follower obsession. If you are obsessing about that, you need to kick that mindset away, because that's not how you're going to grow. So mistake number 2, having no monetization plan. So a lot of influencers start out by posting content, but they really have no strategy or plan to monetize. Now, if this is just a hobby for you, great. You don't have to listen to anything I say, right? But if your goal is to monetize and create a profitable influencer business, that you have to figure out how you're actually going to make money. So the first thing is to really decide, is this just a hobby for you, or is this a business? So let me know in the comments, is this a hobby or business for you? Because if it's a hobby, it means it doesn't matter if you make money or not. You're just going to post whenever you want. You don't need to have a strategy in place because you're not worried about trying to pay your bills or making this for your full-time thing. But if this is a business for you, then you want to make sure you have a monetization plan and strategy in place, because it's not a business if you're not making money, right? So posting content and wishing someone gives you money is not a strategy, and crossing your fingers and hoping brands will reach out to you is not a strategy either. Most of them are going to try and get you to work for them for free, and it's up to you as the business owner, as the entrepreneur, to charge for your services and ask for money. And if you don't feel good about that, you're going to have a hard time monetizing. So first, decide if this is a business for you or not. If it is, then pretend you're going to present your business to someone, right? Create a plan on how you're going to monetize. Are you going to be an advertiser and get brand sponsorships? Will you be doing affiliate marketing? Will you be selling your own physical or digital products? Will you be offering your services? Again, if you're just doing this for fun or not looking to make money for a couple years, then that's fine too. But if this is a business for you, you need to have a plan in place, especially if you want to replace your full-time job. Then you need to have that strategy. You need to have that plan. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. There's a lot of businesses out there that take, a couple months to break even because you're investing in the business first. And that's totally fine. But you should have a forecast similar to like stocks, right? Or investments. They have a forecast on how they're going to make that money. Mistake number 3. This is a big one. A lot of us fall into this one, and that is the comparison trap. This is because it's so easy to see what someone else's life looks like on social media, and we naturally as humans compare ourselves to others. But what you have to keep in mind is that you're not seeing the whole picture here, right? You're usually seeing the curation of it. I've heard someone say this: don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. And we often do this, especially when we're just starting out, right? We don't know someone else's journey. They don't often talk about their failures, so we can't assume that it was easy or it's as great as it looks online. And let me know in the comments if you have caught yourself comparing yourself to others on social media, if you have fallen into the comparison trap. I've done it before, I do it sometimes, and I have to remind myself not to do that because each person has their own unique path and journey. And one of my favorite affirmations for this is, I am exactly where I'm meant to be, right? We haven't met our goals yet because there are still lessons we have to learn. There are still challenges we have to overcome. And if you stick to that mindset, you're not going to be like, why aren't I there yet? Why haven't I met my goal yet? Why is this person there yet? And it's really stopping yourself and giving yourself that shift in perspective. And also a good way to combat the comparison trap is to limit your scrolling time to make sure you don't fall into that black hole of social media. And you know what I mean? You're scrolling, and then 2-3 hours have gone by. You want to limit your social media usage because our brains just tend to turn off and we just kind of are in this black hole. I'm sure you guys have experienced this before. I have, and I have to remind myself. I have calendar notification and I time block my schedule, so my social media time is only in dedicated increments, so I don't spend most of my day, because trust me, you can spend hours and hours on social media unless you know how to control yourself, right? Okay, mistake number 4. This is analysis paralysis. So this is another big one, and most influencers fall into the mistake of trying to get things perfect, and the reality is perfection doesn't exist. It is never going to happen no matter how many times you try. And some influencers, they would take weeks trying to decide things like what's the right blogging platform, and really there isn't one, right? And then weeks turn into months and years, and it doesn't end up happening. And what it is, it's really, perfection is just fear in disguise. It's really, we're scared to put ourselves out there, to put our blog out there. And so we say we're in research mode, or we're just getting ready, or we're just trying to figure things out, when really the best thing to do is to make those decisions quickly, right? What might be the best thing for someone else may not be the best thing for you. And the best thing to do is live by the quote of done is better than perfect, because it's better to make a decision and take action right now rather than staying in research mode. So who has found themselves in research mode before, where it's like, oh, what is the best Instagram scheduler? And then 2 weeks have gone by and you still haven't posted on Instagram, right? And so I don't want you to be in this analysis mode where you're just still stuck in indecision. That's what keeps you stuck, is not taking a decision. Really, the best thing to do is just pick one and go with that. And if you find that it doesn't work for you, then you choose something else later on. But it shouldn't be stopping you from posting and putting yourself out there, because as influencers, we are content creators. We have an audience to serve. And if we're not showing up, we're not doing what we're supposed to do, right? And if we're not doing that, when we can't monetize. And so you have to get over those little humps of, analyzing way too much, because that doesn't help anyone. That keeps you small, that keeps your fear safe. It keeps you safe, right? And playing small, so then your fears are happy because you're not scared of judgment, or you're not scared of putting yourself out there, because you're keeping yourself from putting yourself out there. So don't fall into the mistake of analysis paralysis. Okay, mistake number 5. This is the perfect time. So we already talked about perfection in the last mistake, but sometimes influencers are waiting for the perfect time to do something, and it doesn't exist. They're waiting for the perfect time to reach out to a brand, charge a certain rate, launch an offer, because maybe they're follower obsessed, or maybe they're still in analysis paralysis. Maybe they don't have a plan in place, so they don't know what to launch. So they're in this, spiral of indecision, and they're waiting for the perfect time, when in reality, there is no such thing as the perfect time, right? Because you're never going to be less busy. You can't predict what life is going to throw at you next week. And if you think next week is going to be a better time, you don't actually know that. You just keep putting it off because you don't want to deal with it now. So the answer to this is the perfect time is right now, right? Because your life is precious and it's not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So only what you can do today is what you can do today. So 1 year from now, you don't know what's going to happen. And if you feel a certain tug in your heart, in your bones, in your gut to do this, then that's your intuition talking to you, and your job is to listen, right? I don't want you kicking yourself a year from now, 10 years from now even, wishing you had already started. I talked to so many influencers that were like, I wish I started on Instagram 5 years ago, right? I wish I started on YouTube 10 years ago. And it happens, and then in a blink of an eye, time has gone by. And so for those of you watching right now, I'd love for you to write in the comments, the perfect time is now, right? And if you're watching the replay, put replay in the comments. I love to look at my old videos and see who's watching the replay. And I want you to also type in the comments, because I'm a big believer in affirmations, that the perfect time is now. This is the perfect time to start your business. This is the perfect time to start your monetization plan. This is the perfect time to go for that thing that you've always wanted to go for, because why wait and waste years of your life? Remember, you may only have one life. We don't know, right? I mean, I do believe in, multiple lives possibly, there are definite possibilities. But in this case, right, in this life, you have one chance. And so if you're waking up every day dreading your life, hating your life, that's not really healthy for you, right? Especially if you do have a family, then you want to show your kids or your loved ones that you are going after your dreams, that you are being courageous and brave, regardless of what anyone might say, right? and you want to inspire and empower others. Most of the people that I attract that watch my videos, that join my programs, that become my students, they want to inspire and empower others, usually because they've gone through something in their life, they've overcome a challenge, or they've had a hard journey, and they want to share that message and story with others so that others can feel inspired and empowered too. That is my story, and that's why I attract people like you into my universe, because I'm a big believer in law of attraction, that we attract what we are. So if you are watching this, this is your time, right? This is your sign. If you believe in signs like I do, this is your sign. If you're asking for permission, I'm giving you permission right now. If you're asking for someone to root for you right now and tell you to go for it, I'm rooting for you right there watching, and I'm telling you to go for it, because who else is going to go for it, right? You have one purpose, you have one life, and it's time for you to start doing what you really want to do and to stop playing small, because what are you going to do? Wait for another 10 years, right? I don't want you doing that, because I don't want you, wasting that time. So those are the 5 influencer mistakes to avoid, right? It's really common to have these thoughts and feelings because we are human. That's why it's so important to have a mentor and a coach to help you get through these challenges, to get that support and accountability. So if you haven't watched my free influencer training yet, head to gwenlane.com/training to watch it. And I address a lot of these mistakes in detail. Plus, I share my exact process on how I've built my own personal brand and built my business. So now that I could do the things that I want to do and have the freedom that I've always wanted, and didn't go for years until I finally did. And it was because I invested in mentorship. It's because I started listening to people who were going against the grain and going after their dreams. And I want you to do the same, and I want you to inspire millions of other people as well. So thank you so much for listening and to the Spark Show today, and I will see you in the next episode. So that was my outro for the podcast, but I'd love to look at people's comments and see if you guys have any questions for me on these influencer mistakes. So Anissa says perfection is fear in disguise. It is. Karen says this is me. Are you talking about analysis paralysis, or are you talking about comparison trap? Sarah says she's guilty. Yeah, Alyssa says I would like this to be a business. Yeah, I'm loving your comments, you guys. So if you are watching the replay, make sure you are participating in the comments. I'll always come back and reply to you guys if you do have questions on this. Amazing. Sarah says the perfect time is now. Alyssa, I'm giving you guys, I'm sending you guys some positive vibes, and hopefully that you take action today on going to your dreams, because, we never know what's going to happen. Alyssa is here. Kalpana is here. Hey, girl. Erin is here. Karen is here. Kim is here. Kalpana says, thanks to Gwen, I launched my first digital offer in January. Yes, so I am so excited for you guys. If you're watching this, it means that you were meant to watch it and that you're meant to take action today to get closer to your dreams. And here is your sign. Go for it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments of this video, and I'll be checking them all day today. I'll see you guys later. Bye.